Hey friends, I promised one of you guys that next time I make my lentil potato patties I would share with you guys what I do. So the reason I mainly use 3 ingredients for my lentil potato patties is because I also generally eat them with that pizza pasta sauce that I make that I've shared with you guys before, okay? But if I didn't have that pizza pasta sauce, I could add a few more ingredients, like maybe I'd add some garlic and onion and even some tomato to this basic 3 ingredient recipe, okay? And the other thing is that I want to mention is that actually, instead of using lentils, the other day I used white beans from my garden, right? Just dried beans, and that worked really well too. So you don't have to use lentils, okay? This works with any kind of bean or lentil. So basically what I've done is at the moment, now like I said, my downfall in my videos is that generally I don't do quantities. I just add a bit of this and add a bit of that. So I'm really sorry about that, but it always just works if I add a bit of this and add a bit of that. So I'm soaking lentils at the moment, and I'll let them soak for about 6 to 8 hours, and then I'll just boil them up for an hour or for half an hour, however long it takes to cook them. Right, I've already steamed my potatoes. I added about 4 medium-sized potatoes and just steamed them up, so they're ready. And then the other third ingredient I add for these lentil potato patties is oats. So, and I just use the oats like this. And the trick is that these oats are what makes it all stick together. Alright, and then I put them on the griller, but I'll show you that, okay? And then I use this food processor to mix all this up once the lentils are cooked, okay? So anyway, I'll get to that. And like I said, see, because I always eat these with this sauce, so and I remember I showed you this recipe, these are tomatoes from my garden, onions and garlic and dates, and like I said, I just blend all those up together and then just simmer it down, reduce it, let all the moisture go out of just this soupy thing I make, and then that makes a delicious sauce. And I'll put a link to that recipe below in the description, okay? So I'm actually making my babies my dogs some apple cinnamon cookies as well. So I'm going to use the food processor for that first. But anyway, so okay, well once these are soaked and once I cook these, I'll show you then how I mix them in here, and I just actually grill them under the griller to cook them. Okay, I'll see you later. I got sick of waiting for the lentils to soak, so I've made an executive decision. I've decided that because they're quite small in size, I've only soaked them for 2 hours, and I think even if I just have to cook them for a bit longer, I think that they should cook okay if they haven't been soaked for, 6 to 8 hours as recommended. So yeah, I don't know how long they'll take to cook, maybe half an hour or 3/4 of an hour. And they've cooked quite a lot here because I like just eating them as they are, so I can have a bit more, and all this won't go into the lentil potato patties. And then here's my sauce simmering down. I made so much that it didn't fit into one saucepan, so I've just split it, and that helps it just to simmer down faster. And you can see it's not a deep red because of all the yellow cherry tomatoes I added to it. And so it's been simmering for maybe an hour so far, and you can see that it still has quite a bit to go. There's still quite a lot of watery, even though I didn't add any water, it's just from all the vegetables in it. It's still quite watery. Probably simmer it for another hour or so. Just, I'll just keep my eye on it. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so now my lentils have cooled down, and I had a bowl full, so there's all those lentils minus a bowl full, and there's me spuds and me oats. Okay, so now I'm just going to stick them all into here, and like I said, with quantities, I'm pretty blasé, but the key is to have enough oats to make them stick, to make the lentil patty stick together, but not too many that it's too oaty. So probably have as many oats. No, probably half as many oats as I have potatoes, I'd say, just as like an approximate volume, Okay. So there's me potatoes, lentils and oats. Now these oats actually were unstabilised rolled oats. I don't know if they're as sticky as the stabilised ones, because this is all I could get in the shop. The other ones were out. So now I'm just going to mix this baby and just mix it all up and stop it and give it a bit of a mix with the wooden spoon, and so it all mixes it just into like a dough. So I've just been mixing for about a minute, and there you go. Personally, I don't mind a few chunks of potato in the patties. Like, it doesn't have to be a really like fine consistency. I've got a bit of room in the top there, so I'm going to add a few more lentils to that, and yeah, because I like it really lentil-y. Okay. So I've just put some oats on the bottom of this glass tray, and so that they don't stick to the bottom, but they're pretty good. That's why I grill these patties, so that they don't stick to the, if I baked them and I didn't use baking paper, like I don't, they would stick to the bottom. But if I grill them, they cook from the top and then they don't stick to the bottom, and then I can flip them. So you could bake these if you, like I said, if you did use baking paper. Okay, so I just do this. Or you could use flour on the bottom, but I didn't have any oat flour that I had prepared, so I just used the oats. That's cool. So yeah, that's what they look like. You can, I mean, it's a bit hard to do this with one hand while I'm holding the camera, so they're maybe not the perfect shape, but you get my drift, eh? So then, like I said, I just stick the griller on. I might just do these and I'll show you. So I just stick the griller on, kind of cook the top, flip them over, cook the bottom, and then they're ready to eat. Okay, so there they are, sitting in the oven on grill. Alright, see you in a bit. So while I'm waiting for me lentil patties to grill on one side, I just want to show you the finished product of my sauce. That's going to be bloody delicious to dip my lentil patties into. And then I also want to show you what I made the kids today, well, my dogs. It's got apples, a couple of raisins, not many, dates and oats all blended up, and I didn't end up adding the cinnamon, but they look pretty wholesome. The neighbour came over and ate one. She said they're delicious. You want a piece, Ashy? Little Miss Piggy's already had a dinner, so I'm not going to give her too much. Here you go. Yummy? Okie dokie. So now see they're all kind of cooked on one side, and I'm just going to get this baby and flip her over like that. Like that. And then I'll just grill the other side. And the thing is, they can be a little bit soft in the middle, but you've got to remember that, you know, the potatoes and the lentils were already cooked. So it's not like you got to really kind of cook them. And, you know, my dogs personally prefer raw oats to cooked oats. So it's not like you have to cook oats and to eat them, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so I'll just finish flipping these babies and I'll stick them back in. See you in a bit. So I just pulled these babies out of the oven, and this is what they look like. Like, obviously, like I said, the shape's a bit dodgy because, you know, I was doing a one-hander. But, so they're fairly firm, but when they cool down, they get quite firm. You know, when they're hot, they're, you know, fairly soft inside, like kind of a cake, I suppose. But they're delicious, and like I said, I eat them, or you could eat them on sandwiches. Like, I always generally eat them with this sauce. Just dip it in the sauce like that and eat it like that. And, like, they're not much to write home about with three ingredients if you eat them on your own, but with the sauce they're yummy. Or, like I said, the first time I did add, you know, onion and garlic and tomato, and they were pretty good. You could add some zucchini. And, you know, as long as you got the oats in there, they really do stick together quite well. So, but, yeah, so I hope you found this video interesting, and thanks for watching, and I'm going to go and eat this. And I'll see you next time.